Not morning, is it? Hello, Josie. Nice to see you. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to my first live of 2023. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. It's so lovely to see you. Hello, Lynn. Hello, Jasmine. Oh, welcome. It's so nice to see you. It seems like forever since we did one of these. I am very well, thank you, Lynn. How are you doing? You all right? How was your Christmas? Hello, Heather. Nice to see you. Happy New Year. Michelle, nice to see you. I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Lovely to see you. I'm just waiting for everyone to join. I'm sitting here. I've just had a cup of tea and a mince pie. My brother-in-law came round, so my brother-in-law is still in the lounge with my hubby. But yeah. So Jasmine, yes, thank you. I had a lovely Christmas, thank you. Oh, look, who's this? Helen. Hello. Nice to see you. First time here for you. Good to see you, Helen, and welcome to everyone who's coming here for the first time. My name's Sarah. I'm a therapist, and it's very lovely to have you here. We just let everyone arrive, and then we can do some introductions and talk about what we're doing. But how were your Christmases, your festive seasons? How did it go for you? Oh, thank you, Heather. You shared the live. That's really nice of you. Thank you. Julie Reestever from California. Happy New Year to you. So nice to see you. Hello, Tracy. Good to see you too. Hope you're doing all right. Lucy, hello. Nice to have you here. First timer, what's up? Well, my energy. I'm doing all right at the moment. So tell me about how was your Christmas? How was your New Year? How did it go for all of you? Was it all right? Was it stressful? Was it calming? What were the best bits of your holiday season? I'd love to know. Hello, Jancy. Nice to see you. Oh, and so Julesy was ill. Julesy's got an amazing TikTok, which does lots of just the most delicious cooking. And you had a house full, but everyone got involved and helped. I'm so glad because Julesy had COVID. It was really poorly leading up to Christmas, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, you've got 18 people coming over. How are you going to manage? But you manage with people help, don't they? So I'm really pleased about that. Tracy, I'm glad you had a good Christmas. Yeah, I had a nice Christmas. It was quite quiet, but it was really enjoyable. I like the time after Christmas, the week between Christmas and New Year, where you could just sit and watch old films and read, and everything's nice and quiet. So, oh, from New York, hello. Oh dear, you're very anxious. That's not so good. And to put my glasses on because I can't see some of the names on this. There was someone here said, let's see. Someone that said, I can't say your name, but you said you're doing terrible. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully I'm glad you're here, and hopefully you can spend the next hour just chilling and enjoying being with all of us. So it's nice to have you here. And what's up? Yeah, low key and quiet, loved ones around, no negativity allowed. Yeah. So, oh dear. And Helen, yours was busy and overwhelmed at times. And Jan, your grandson, made up for any stress. So, Regina, you had a nice quiet holiday at home with the children. That's so lovely. Elizabeth Malmros, so nice to see you. Welcome. Gosh. So let me explain who I am. I'm Sarah Aris, and I'm a therapist. I work in the UK, and I do these lives most Fridays, just really getting together, finding out how your week has been, catching up, finding out what the best bits of your week have been, what perhaps have been difficult parts of your week, and answering any questions that you might have. So you're very welcome, and I couldn't do this without my lovely moderators. I have Lynn250, I have Jasmine, and I have Vicky Hodson, who are absolutely wonderful, kind human beings who volunteer and come along to all of these lives just to keep everything friendly and nice. And so if there's anyone around that's not perhaps as kind or as community minded as the rest of us, then they don't last long. We'll just mute and block them. So so because we all know what kindness looks like, don't we? And this is a kind place. So thank you so much to you three. I couldn't do it without you. And of course, you know, there are people who've been coming along to these lives just since I started them, really. I've been doing this just over a year now. So, and it's always lovely to see you. So if you can't stay for very long, then I'll always upload these to my YouTube channel, which is Sarah Aris Therapy, and you can see there's a link on my profile. If you click on my photograph of me, you'll get to my profile, you'll see a link tree, and there's loads of links to free resources, including my YouTube. So have a look. If you can't stay around, because you don't need to, you can just have a look on the YouTube channel. So, Jasmine, thank you. I'm glad I love my dungarees. I'm glad you like them too. So let me see if I can answer some questions, because it's helpful, hopefully. So you can probably see that there are lots and lots of comments come through, and so it's not possible to answer every single question, but I'll do my best, and I'll sort of go through and write down 3 at a time and say which ones I'm going to be answering, and then just work my way through. So hopefully that's helpful. So let me have a look, see what I can answer. Let's have a look. Okay, so RA says, how do I build self-esteem after an emotionally abusive relationship? Self-esteem is a hard one, isn't it? I think at the best of times, I think most of us, it's a good place to be if you can reach a place where you do have good self-esteem, when you do feel good about yourself and confident in yourself. But if you've been through an abusive relationship, it can totally undermine you, can't it? So that's a really good question. So I've written that down, RA, and I will come back to you. Let's have a look. Who else? Thank you so much, Emma, for following me. I really appreciate, any follows or shares or likes. It's very kind of you. Bear in mind that all of this is completely free, so please don't feel that you have to subscribe or anything like that. You don't have to. It's all free, so you're really welcome to just enjoy. So let's have a look. Oh gosh, Kazi, you had COVID for the 2nd time during New Year's. That's a bit hard, isn't it? Sorry to hear that. Let's see. So, Dill 202. So you're saying any tips around health anxiety? Okay, so I will come to that in just a second. And Elizabeth, oh my goodness, your husband, poor Elizabeth's husband had a fall over the last week or so, wasn't it, Elizabeth? And he's still in hospital waiting for an operation. I'm so sorry, Elizabeth. I can understand that you're scared, but thank goodness he's in hospital. Thank goodness that he's in the right place and he's being looked after. I just hope that you're being looked after. So I hope that you're, I'm glad that you're here. Hopefully we can give you a little bit of love over the next hour or so, but hopefully all will be well with your husband, and you'll be able to look back in a little while and think, oh, thank goodness everything worked out okay. But I'm sorry that you're feeling the way you're feeling. Alexandra, thank you. Talking about my positivity. I'm really, that I'm grateful for that comment. Thank you. So, and there's one question here. Sorry, I can't see your name. Amit C. So chronic chest pain for 18 months, OCD, anxiety. Any tips? Gosh, that's a lot, isn't it? A lot to be dealing with. So I will do my best for you. Let me see. And Rachel, I'm going to write yours down too. Why can't I switch off at night? Go to bed at 4 a.m. each night. When you want to switch off. Okay. Right, let me answer some questions. I'll do my best for you. Okay. So RA, talking about self-esteem after an emotionally abusive relationship. Well, firstly, congratulations on freeing yourself from that relationship. I think it's so difficult to have the courage to walk away from relationships like that. So that's the first thing I would say to you. That's the start. And be kind to yourself. I think self-compassion is very important. That sense of being kind to yourself, speaking kindly to yourself. And when you're used to not being spoken kindly to because you've been in an emotionally abusive relationship, that's a new skill that you need to take time doing. There are some good people that you can look at. One of them I really like is Dr. Kristen Neff. She's got a good TED talk about self-compassion. And she has a whole website about self-compassion, and there's various exercises on her website to do with beginning to notice when you're not kind to yourself, and beginning to be able to speak kindly to yourself, and beginning to notice when you do things well, because self-esteem is about understanding that you have worth. So I think surrounding yourself with people that can help you understand that you do have worth is really useful. To notice the times where you do well, where you're successful, where you manage to be kind to yourself, that's really good as well. Self-care is really important, because I think probably we end up, when our self-esteem is low, it's because we have this belief about ourselves that has been born of experiences over time that has made us believe that we're not worth anything, and we're all worth so much. We all deserve love, we all deserve kindness and honesty, we all deserve to be built up. So I would say that sense of managing your life, bringing self-care into your life is the start of all this. Start small steps every day, and you'll get there. It's not a race, it's just about being on this new journey now, this new path of life, so that you can start to realise that you have worth in the world. And one of the things that actually can be really helpful is to be of service to other people, and so to perhaps look at charities around you, perhaps charities that are I don't know, it could be anything really. It could be charities that you're particularly interested in, like maybe an animal charity. I know near me there's Riding for the Disabled. It could be looking at an old people's home, but giving back to people, being of service to other people or to animals or whoever. And so that can be really helpful, because when we give to others, we start to feel good about ourselves as well. So I hope that helps a little bit, RA. Let me know how you do, because I hope that I hope that over time you'll be able to start to feel a bit better about yourself. So the next one was about health anxiety from Dill 202. So that's a really good question. So many people suffer from health anxiety. If you have a look on my main profile pages, at the bottom there are various categories all about all sorts of anxieties that people experience, and health anxiety is one of them. So there's more detail there. But health anxiety is always a tricky one, because it's when we feel anxious, we get the physical symptoms of anxiety, and it can be all sorts of things, different to everyone. And so it can be anything from our beating heart, from aches and pains in our body, headaches, it can be sickness, it can be not sleeping, overthinking, all sorts of things. And so we worry about that. When we have health anxiety for whatever reason, we can start to think, oh no, what's wrong with me now? Because you're getting the physical symptoms just caused purely by anxiety. And so you get in this closed loop going round and around and around, which can be really difficult and really scary. So I would say go and have a look at my profile page and have a little trawl through some of those videos, and think about beginning to just lower your general levels of anxiety. And we do that by helping our nervous system understand that we are safe. So even if we have things going on for us, even if we have people around us who are ill, or we're ill ourselves, or maybe we're completely fine but we just are very hyper aware of physical symptoms that we notice, actually to calm everything down and to realise that here and now in this moment all is well, I am okay, that can be really helpful. So we're starting to lower the levels of stress hormones in our body by using some of the techniques that I share on my page, by use of self-care, and beginning to raise the levels of hormones that tell our nervous system that we're safe. Stuff like dopamine and oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. So yeah, that can be really helpful. I think with health anxiety it can be really useful to go and see someone who deals with health anxiety, a therapist of whatever ilk, whatever suits you. Finding a therapist is all about finding someone that you click with. So I would consider doing that maybe, because that can help you get to the root of where this has come from. Because as with all anxiety, it's always going to have been triggered by an event, a significant emotional event in your life. So it's always helpful with any anxiety that you're going through is to have a little look at what was going on in the time leading up to when I started to feel like this, and that will give you your clue. So I hope that helps a little bit. Hopefully hopefully it will. Let me say hello to anyone who's joining us. I'm Sarah, and Happy New Year. I'm a therapist. I'm a Quest Cognitive Hypnotherapist. That's what QCH stands for. If you can see the little thing up here, just telling you a little bit about me. So Quest Cognitive Hypnotherapy is a talking therapy. It's an umbrella term, a framework for all sorts of different therapies that help lots of people, and it's based on evidence. We've been doing a research study for several years now, and so it has its roots in science. So definitely it helps lots of people. I'm trying to answer some questions. I know I'm gabbing on a little bit at the moment, but I'm also joined by the lovely Lynn 250 and Jasmine, and they're moderating for me just to keep this a nice, cosy, safe space. So you're very welcome. Thank you for being here, really. Let me have a little flick through. Oh gosh, Claire Hinton. How do I return to work after bereavement? I witnessed my grandmother's death on Christmas Day. Oh my goodness. So Claire, I'm so sorry that you've had to go through that. My condolences for your grandmother dying, but also how awful to have, well, I say awful to have witnessed it. I suppose it depends on what you went through there. Sometimes it can be comforting to have been there when she passed away, and at other times it can be a very difficult experience. So it's different for all of us. Let me write that down, and I'll come back to that once I've answered these other couple of questions. But I am sorry that you had to go through that. It's very hard. And it's very early days, isn't it, to be having to go back to work. Okay, just writing it down. I need to learn shorthand or something, so I'm a bit quicker. Right, I will come back to you, I promise, Claire. Let's have a look. Oh, and that's a good one as well. Miss R. James. James. I'm sorry, my eyesight's terrible today. To help So to help a relative to accept help when they have mental health issues, it's hard, isn't it? I will come back to that and do my best to answer. But I know it's really hard when people don't want help. You know, at the end of the day, they have to be the one that want help. Let's have a look. So let me answer some more questions here. So Amit, you were asking about, you've been having chronic chest pain for 18 months and also OCD and anxiety. So you're really going through the mill, aren't you? So it's difficult. The thing about chronic pain is that once you get over, so acute pain is pain that happens when, you know, if you stub your toe or if you break a bone or you have an injury, then that pain is called acute pain, and it lasts for, it's about 3 months is the window, because all soft tissue will heal within that 3-month window. If you go beyond the 3-month period, it's called chronic, or actually they call it persistent pain a bit more now, purely because the languages that we use around pain is very, very important. But it will always have, any pain has an emotional aspect to it. But it's interesting to have a look and think what was going on in that time up until leading up to you developing that chronic chest pain, because that might give you some clues. I think with OCD, it's really important that you go and see someone who knows how to deal with OCD, because it's quite a specialist topic. I'm sure if you've been diagnosed with OCD, then you probably have seen lots of people. And the anxious thoughts, I would go back to what I always say, that probably what's going on is that your body is in quite a high level of hypervigilance, hyper-awareness of everything around you, because your nervous system, if you think of us, I always say this, and I know it sounds a bit ridiculous, but we're like spaghetti on legs. If you imagine we're just walking around the world and we've got, our nervous system is reaching out and scanning our environment all the time, looking for stuff that might be of threat to us. And when we've been in situations where we either have been in danger, or it's certainly felt like we've been in danger, then our nervous system, unsurprisingly, is really, really on the lookout for it. And so it can accentuate the feelings that we feel. So it's trying to send us messages. So any chronic pain that we're suffering is our nervous system, our body, trying to send us a message that we need to do something about something. And it's real pain that we're suffering from, but it's not only is it the physicality of that, but it's also the emotional aspect of it that needs to be dealt with. And all the things that I talk about lowering levels of stress hormones, creating an environment of safety, can be really helpful with that. Have a look on my page and have a look at some of the techniques that I share on there. There's all sorts of things. There's breath techniques, there's physical techniques, there's EFT, and all of those things. They're not miracle cures. You won't do them once and then bang, you're cured. It's about over time creating an environment where your nervous system can go, oh, I am all right, I'm okay. Here and now, I'm safe. And sometimes that involves seeing a therapist as well. I would say particularly if you're suffering from OCD, then definitely seeing a therapist can help you with that. So I hope that helps a little bit. And as Lynn says, chronic pain sucks. It really does. And it's almost counterintuitive sometimes, because, you know, working with people who have anxiety, people who have chronic pain, we don't look at the anxiety. What we do is we go, the anxiety, the chronic pain is there for a reason. It's sending us a message. But what we want to do is trust our body to sort itself out in the background. You know, like if we have a cut on our leg, it will heal itself. A scab will form, the scab will do what scabs do, and eventually it will just disappear. And one day we'll look down at our leg and go, good grief, isn't that amazing? I used to have a cut there and it's gone now. That's what we want. We want to be so busy doing things that make us feel good about ourselves and our lives that we trust our nervous system to just get on with healing whatever needs to be healed emotionally and physically in the background. Which I know it sounds like, I'm like a fairy godmother or something, but it's true. That's the way we do it. If we give all of our focus to the thing, the anxiety or the depression or the pain, that's all we see. It's like I did a post yesterday about wearing a miner's lamp, and this light, if we're in a cave and we've got a miner's lamp on and the light is shining at the rock wall of a cave, that's all we can see, and we can see it and we're with it. But actually, if we give our focus, if we turn around and we give our focus to what's going on all around us and behind us, we can start to realise, oh, maybe there's more in my life. Maybe there's a different way of being other than just permanently focused on this way. So I hope that helps a wee bit. Let me have a little look at some of these comments. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. I appreciate that you're here. I can see some virtual hugs being thrown around. Oh, Alex B. Well, there wasn't one last week because I didn't do it because I was off on my holidays, so you didn't miss anything. But really nice to see you. So there's a little discussion here about EMDR, so that's interesting. I'm just going to scroll back here and let's have a look, because I do a version of EMDR which is called AMDR. Oh yeah, so do you know about EMDR? My therapist just switched me to it for trauma and anxiety, but I'm nervous. It is amazing. I use this a huge amount with my clients. So I've done various modules. I've done the complete training, and I'm actually assisting on the next training course that we're doing for AMDR. AMDR is applied eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, and it's a sort of it's something that is EMDR, but it's been created for us to use as cognitive hypnotherapists to sort of bring it in with the other tools that we have. So EMDR is quite remarkable. It's an amazing therapy. You don't have to necessarily talk about what's going on for you. It's all about bilateral stimulation. It's about taxing working memory. It's about the mismatch of what you believe and what is actually true. And so you can use various things. Sometimes they use eye movement, hence the name, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. And sometimes, I personally, because I do a lot of my work online, I used tapping. So we do tapping like this, or on the knees. If you have any questions about it, do talk to your therapist. That's what us therapists are there for. We're really there to help. And I would always say this to any of my clients. I always say, if you're not comfortable about anything, or if you're unsure about anything, then do ask. Let's talk about it. Let's talk through it. So I'm sure that your therapist will be very happy to sit with you and talk through what EMDR is and how it can help you. It is amazing for trauma work. It really is. So I hope, lucky you. I hope that it goes really well for you. But yeah, good luck. So let's have a little look. Oh, thank you, Heather, for sharing the live for me. I think you did that a minute ago as well. You are an absolute star. Oh, thank you. It's like, all of the likes and the follows and the shares and everything, it all helps, because the more everyone does that, the TikTok algorithm goes, oh, people might be interested in this, and so they share it to more people see it, and then it's like a snowball, isn't it? Hence the word snowball. It snowballs. So the more people can do that, which I know you do, so I'm really grateful for that, the more people get to see it, and hopefully the more people are helped, because that's what it's all about. That's why I'm here, is to help as many people as I possibly can. So and I saw there someone was asking, yes, Hope Junonia was asking, what is QCH therapy? And Lynn, my moderator, said it's Quest Cognitive Hypnotherapy. So yes, that's what it is. If you go into my profile again, there's a whole load of information about what it is. So there's the Quest Institute, which is the place where we train people to be Quest Cognitive Hypnotherapists. There's information about what it is, and also on my website there's information. But it's an amazing therapy. I love it. I mean, I'm biased because this is my second year of being training manager at the Quest Institute. So we teach people to be QCH therapists. So I love it. It's changed my life, and I hope it's changed a lot of other people's lives. Well, I know it has. So let's have a look. Let me just scroll through a little bit. Rhonda, excellent. I'm really pleased that you think it's interesting. I always worry. I always worry that people will get a bit bored of me gabbing on. But yeah, I'm really glad if people find it helpful. Let me get back to some questions, because I'm trying to answer a few questions here. So Rachel said, how does she manage to switch off? She's going to bed at 4 a.m. and that's really hard, isn't it? And quickly, Izzy, yes, it is normal for anxiety to cause a racing heart. Yes, it is, because you get a release of adrenaline and that makes your heart beat faster. I'll talk about it in a bit, maybe. So Rachel, going to bed and finding... So there's a couple of things. So when we're anxious about things, when we've got stuff going on in our life, quite often that will affect our sleep. And so we can end up just going to sleep later and later and later, because perhaps we're overthinking, perhaps we're occupying ourselves with things that maybe are not that healthy. Maybe we're a bit frightened to go to sleep. I remember I used to stay up really late. If I had a big day the next day, I'd go to sleep really, really late, because it was like I almost didn't want to sleep, because if I didn't sleep it would mean that the day wouldn't arrive the next day, if that makes sense. So really it's about routine. It's about sorting out what's going on in your day, because if you sort out your day and your life and in general is pretty happy and grounded and nice, then the chances are you'll be sleeping pretty well. But also I worked with someone a little while ago, and when I first started working with them, they were going to bed at 6 to 7 o'clock in the morning, sleeping all day, and then waking up at 6 or 7 at night. So it's that gradual changing of your routine. And it's, I can see actually this is probably resonating with you, with quite a lot of you. Let's have a look. Anyway, I'll keep going with this. So the thing to do is to realise that what you need to do is to be, if you can set a time to wake up in the morning. Now, if it depends what time you need to be up, but if you can set an alarm to start with, so that you're getting up at a reasonable time. Okay, and then when your alarm goes off, you get up and you get outside and get some daylight in your eyes. Now, hopefully, what you need to do is to be getting up before 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, because there's something about the angle of the light between sunrise and that sort of time in the morning that hits the back of our eyes, and it sets off our circadian rhythm. So it sets off our body clock, and that starts the timer to help us actually fall asleep at a good time in the evening. So set a time before 10 o'clock in the morning to be up, get 5 or 10 minutes of real daylight through into your eyes. Not through a window, actually step outside. Your neighbours will think you're mad, but just stand outside for 5 or 10 minutes, or go for a quick walk around the block, get daylight in your eyes, and then have a routine. You might feel absolutely dreadful to start with, because you might be so tired because you've not gone to sleep till 4 o'clock in the morning. But that's good. If you're active during your day, and then get out again about 4:30 in the afternoon, get some more daylight on your eyes. And this is all to do with our body clock, with the circadian rhythm. It's to do with the production of melatonin, which helps us to begin to feel sleepy. And then what you need to do is, during the course of the evening, become a bit more aware of mimicking, like as if you're a cave person. So that if you imagine living in a cave, as the sun set, and everything just gets darker and darker, slowly, more and more dark. But we don't live like that. We have bright lights, we have electricity, we have screens. So what we want to do is mimic that gradual sunset, the coming on of darkness, and being aware of this pressure of sleep. Because what will happen is that you become aware of the pressure, and then you have a circuit of about an hour and a half. So you'll feel the pressure of sleep. So you might feel sleepy about 7 o'clock in the evening. Well, obviously you're not going to go to bed then. So just think, okay, an hour and a half after that is 8:30. That's the next time you should start feeling the sleep pressure. That's probably still a bit early, but then be thinking, okay, 8:30, 9:30, 10 o'clock, that'll be the next time. So 10 o'clock could be a reasonable time to be thinking about, am I going to time my going to bed with this feeling of sleep pressure? Or it could be like 11:30. So think of it like that. If you can stop using screens at all after about 6 o'clock in the evening, then stop using them. Just even if it's just for a limited period of time, just to get things back. So you start doing that. So you create a routine, and it might be difficult at first, but just creating a routine, so that you might go to bed and still not be able to sleep. But if you go to sleep at 3 o'clock, that's better than going to bed to sleep at 4 o'clock. Get into your bed, have fresh air, have your room nice and cool, and just there's various techniques on my page actually. Spinning is quite good for falling asleep. Not pressuring yourself to fall asleep. Just think to yourself, oh, it's okay, I'm resting, that's good enough, So hopefully that will help a little bit. But it's very, very interesting. If you have a look at the Herman Lab, he does very good podcasts. And then there's another guy, I haven't got the book here. There's various books about sleep, but don't worry about it too much, because you will get there. But it's sometimes it's just a slow process, but you will be all right. And again, use the self-care that I talk about. They're just slowing everything down, doing some of the techniques that I share, just to bring your nervous system down and look at what's going on in your life, because maybe that's something that needs sorting out. So anyway, I hope that helps a little bit, Rachel. It is very lovely to see everyone here. Trish, I see you're here. It's very, very nice to see you. And Kenzie. Oh, excellent. Kenzie, you've been out as yourself 5 times now. Brilliant. Well done. So you've got in. Brilliant. That is so good. Well done. It's so nice to see, because I think I remember you. Were you on the one, not at the last one before Christmas? I'm sure that was you that was asking for help. I'm so thrilled that you've come back and told us. That makes my day. Brilliant. Really brilliant. Right. Okay, let's have a look. So thank you all for being here. I was just saying, oh my goodness, lots and lots of comments. But you're all really welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Sarah. I'm a therapist, and I specialise in working with people who have anxiety, and I absolutely, I love what I do. I do Quest Cognitive Hypnotherapy, and so there's more information about that on my website, all through my profile. So let's have a look. See if there's any more. I've got a couple here from Claire and also Miss R. James. Let's have a look. Okay, let me answer some of these questions. So Claire, I'm so sad that Claire's grandma died on Christmas Day, which is just a moment ago, isn't it? And you had the difficult circumstance of being with her when she died, which can be something very special, or it can be something quite difficult to deal with, maybe a mixture of both. But you're asking, how do you get back to work? I would say that probably the anticipation of going back to work is worse than the reality of it. I would imagine that people at work know what you've been through, and you'll find that there'll be people who don't know what to say to you. There'll be people who will avoid you because perhaps they've not been through it themselves, but I'm hoping that they will be very, very much in the minority, because the vast majority of people will be very kind, and particularly if they've lost people that they love too, they will understand, or at least try to understand, a little bit of what you're going through. It's just small steps. It's okay to cry. It's okay to take yourself away for a moment and have a moment. It's okay to talk about your grandma. It's whatever works for you. Give yourself time. And if you have an HR department, you should be being looked after. Hopefully when you go back to work, your boss or your line manager will speak to you and be caring about you, and they'll understand that you're perhaps not quite yourself. Also, sometimes going back to work can be really, really helpful, because actually it can divert your attention a little bit, because you're so busy sort of doing the stuff that needs to be done for your work, that you're getting your cognitive brain working, and you get lost, you get in that trance state of being at work. So you can have moments of being able to just to put, it sounds awful to put it to one side, but it's not absolutely in the forefront as time goes on. It may well be that it is in the forefront for you, and that's okay. There is no right or wrong way of dealing with grief, but I would say definitely talk to the people around you at work, the people that you feel comfortable with, and just take your time, really, and hopefully they definitely should support you. And definitely the people who've experienced loss themselves, it's like a horrible club that we all become members of, and it's only when you're a member that you truly understand even a tiny bit of what someone else is feeling. But I hope you're okay. And if after a while, after however long, maybe a few months, if it's too tricky, then if it's still really difficult for you, then perhaps think about talking to a bereavement counsellor. Cruse is a great charity. And also, if you have a look in my profile, and you'll see that there's a thing called My Quest Hub. If you look on there, there's a really amazing article full of free resources written by my friend Jane Cowan, who is a bereavement counsellor. And there's all sorts of links, apps, information, all sorts of things that hopefully will be helpful to you. So don't suffer alone. You don't need to suffer alone. Reach out to people, because you'll be amazed how kind people are. And also I would say accept practical help. If you're at work and someone says, listen, I know things are tough for you at the moment, would you like me to do that for you? Don't be brave, just accept it, because you can repay the favour one day. Just say, oh, thank you, that would be really nice. I hope that helps a wee bit. You take care, Claire. See, look, Trish says, I recommend Cruse. I rang them during my loss of my boyfriend. So, sometimes it's really helpful to talk. A lot of these places, Cruse, Samaritans even, they have helplines where you can actually just talk to someone who's not emotionally invested in the situation. You can just offload your thoughts, you know, and even if you just want to cry with somebody, sometimes that's really helpful, isn't it? So, okay. Let's have a look. Oh dear. There's a quick one here, Larissa. How can I stop picking at my nails? Well, this is something that I used to do, Larissa. And one of the real practical things you can do is look after them. You know, I mean, get some olive oil or get some almond oil, not expensive nail oil. Go to Holland and Barrett or a health food shop and get a little bottle of oil that's cheap, because you can get a massive bottle from a health food shop for cheap, and just every night and every morning, and then maybe carry it around in your bag. When you think about it, just a tiny little bit on your cuticles, and just make sure that your cuticles are nice. And then there's nothing to pick at, you know. It's the same with your nails. If you're doing that, then your nails will be healthier. So, and also what I started to do was to go and have a manicure every month, because I was so full of shame if I turned up to my nail lady, the lovely Paige, that I look after my nails now, and she helps me by keeping them, you know, well looked after. So it's sort of taking pride in it and reframing, and sort of noticing when do you pick at your nails. Is it because you're nervous? Is it because you're bored? What's going on there? Ask yourself that question. And maybe instead of your go-to being, oh, I'm just going to rip this off and destroy this, your go-to is, oh, where's my oil? Where's my oil? And oil your nails. I hope that helps a little bit. Or you could always go and see a hypnotherapist or a cognitive hypnotherapist who can help you with it as well. So hopefully that helps. So let me have a look through. Oh, loads of comments. I love it. It's so nice to see everyone. Happy New Year, everyone who's joining. It's just so nice to see you all. I missed you. I've seen lots of you, you know, leaving comments online, and I wrote the other day. Oh, I didn't write. I did a video saying, oh, you know, is it everything okay? What I'm doing, and the overwhelming opinion was yes, you're enjoying what I do. So I'm really pleased about that. It's so lovely to have such nice feedback. Okay, let's have a look here. Okay. Oh gosh. Oh, okie dokie. Interesting. Okay, Izzy. Let's. So Izzy, I just saw your comment, Julesy, saying that you've bitten your nails all your life and got the first time this Christmas you've grown them. So I used to bite my nails, I used to pick my cuticles, and it was just like a nervous thing. But it's amazing the difference it can make if you just start to look after them, and you know, you've got nothing to pick at. So anyway, I digress. So Izzy says, I start a new job. Oh, actually, yes, I'm going to write this down, Izzy. So Izzy, I start a new job on Monday. Congratulations. And really, really anxious about it. Scared of having anxiety and feeling trapped. Okay, I've written that down. And I will come back to you because I want to answer Miss R. James' question too. Let's have a look. Oh, okay. So my moderators, I'm just hoping there's a few little comments there that maybe my moderators need to have a little look at, because I don't want any unkindness going on. Yeah. Okay. So, oh, hello, Joanne Burgess from Milton Keynes. Welcome. And thank you, Kenzie. It's very nice of you. So Miss R. James, so this is a really interesting question, and Brilliant. Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate that. um, so you were saying that you have a relative who has mental health issues, and you feel like they need to have help, but it's really hard to get them to accept help. Now, this is such a difficult position for you to be in. It's really hard when someone in your life... Oh, hello, Jess. Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt about that, but it's so lovely to see you, Jess. I hope you're all right and having a good day. So it's really hard when someone you love is really struggling, and sometimes they're so deep in their struggle that they just don't realise that this is not normal. You can't, much as you want to, you can't make someone ask for help until they're ready for it, you know. It's really, really difficult. I do appreciate that. I think all you can do is perhaps give them information, just to ask them, you know, if there was something I could do, is there anything that I can help you with? Would you like me to research into finding someone for you to talk to, potentially, you know, that sort of thing. That can be helpful. But unfortunately, if until they're ready, then that's all you can do. Because, you know, as a therapist, sometimes I have, you know, parents getting hold of me and saying, oh, my adult son or daughter really needs help. Can you see them? And I say, well, I can, but I need to talk to them, because I can't talk to another adult unless the person is a vulnerable adult in some way or one way. You know, it's up to them. So I would say, be kind to yourself, give yourself self-care, and begin to understand that, you know, that unfortunately we only have control over our own decisions, our own actions. So to make sure that you're as safe and as comfortable as you can be, and to make sure that the person in your life knows that you're there for them, and that you're willing to do anything that you can to help them, and that when they're ready, then you're there for them, and that you perhaps can help them. I think that could be a really big thing, is giving someone choice, because if someone is already in protection and really scared and really vulnerable, and you're trying to help them in the best possible way, sometimes that can feel like you're trying to take control from them. And so it can be very liberating for them to know that you're there for them, but that you understand that they have the choice to seek help. You can also, you know, you could potentially maybe go and see your doctor and ask advice there, and encourage your family member to seek help. But I really feel for you, because it's a horrible situation to be in. But I'm glad that they have you to care for them. Let's have a look. Karen, I've got my 30th birthday party tomorrow and I'm so scared. Oh, bless you. Happy birthday for if it's tomorrow, then happy birthday. 30, amazing. The 30s are good years, I think. So, I mean, I think the thing to remember is that everyone is going to be there for you. Everyone loves you, otherwise they wouldn't have said yes to the party invitation. So just take it a little bit at a time. You're probably looking at the big picture and thinking, oh, I need to do this and I need to do that, and people will expect this of me. People don't expect anything of you. People just want you to be happy and have a lovely time. So I would say, don't drink too much. Be as sober as you can, to enjoy it as best you can. Maybe tell your best friend or a family member, say, oh, I'm really anxious about it, and let them be your kind of bodyguard, you know, so that you can think, right, I just need to get to this thing, like I need to decide what I'm going to wear, decide I'm going to eat before I go, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And gradually, if you're present in the moment, then you'll hopefully really enjoy it. And you could have a look on my page, there's a pinned post where I do this technique that can help you. No one will know you're doing it. You can be in the moment and really enjoy it. So hopefully, I hope you have a lovely time. Come back and let us know how it goes. So this one, Izzy Izzy was saying that you've got a new job on Monday and you're scared of feeling anxious, scared of feeling trapped. Well, I'd say it's completely normal to feel a bit nervous about starting anything new, and particularly a job, because it means a lot, doesn't it? You know, we want to do well, we want to be seen as being competent, we want to be happy in our job, we want to keep our job. There's so many, and our brain, there's so many things, and our brain, it's very understandable, can whiz off into the future doing all the what ifs of, oh, what if they think I'm weird? What if they can see that I'm anxious? What if I'm not very good at it? Well, that is all imagination. And our brain cannot tell the difference between what is true and what is imagined. So if you're imagining all of that stuff, then your brain feels like it's actually happening. And so it releases all of that adrenaline and all of that cortisol that makes your heart beat fast, makes you overthink, makes your muscles tense, makes you feel horrendous. So you're far better to try to be in the moment and try to understand that everyone at your new job will totally expect you, A, to be a bit nervous, B, to be a bit rubbish, and C, to be someone that they're looking forward to getting to know. So hopefully that can take the pressure off you a little bit, because if you think of all the times when you've had new people start at work, you know, I'm sure you've done your absolute best to make them feel welcome, and you see them walking in like a rabbit in the headlamps, and you know how they're feeling, and so people will know how you're feeling. So look for the people who are the kind people. Look for the people who say, oh, this is your desk, or this is your locker, or would you like a cup of tea, or do you know where to get lunch, or do you know, that kind of thing. Look for those people, and don't feel you have to do too much. You just need to be you, because people will either like you and you'll love this job, or you'll think, oh, actually it's not for me. But funnily enough, if you give it time and you just take it slow, do your best, smile at people and be keen to learn, I would imagine that you'd be absolutely brilliant on Monday. And you get to the end of Monday thinking to yourself, do you know what? That was better than I thought. And I'm going to be all right here. And you might feel nervous on the Tuesday too. But then maybe the Tuesday will be just a little bit better than the Monday. And it will go like that. So have a look at my main profile page and have a look at some of the coping skills, and just be kind to yourself. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to be you, and that's good enough. Okay, good luck. Let us know how you get on. Now we are getting to the end of this live, and it's been so lovely. It's been great seeing you all. Thank you so much for being here. Let me have a little look through some of these comments. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So lots and lots of thank you, Selena, for giving me roses. What a lovely thing to do. Thank you. Let's have a look. Oh, Charlotte, I'm struggling with anxiety and slight panic attacks since my dog passed and school makes it worse. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry that you've lost your dog. That's just, it's very hard, isn't it, when we lose someone or an animal that we really love. And it's completely normal to feel what you're feeling. Be kind to yourself. Talk to people about your dog. Cry. Feel what you need to feel, because that is a reflection of the love that you felt. It's all right. I think so often these days we're in a hurry. You know, we feel like we need to just get over stuff and get on with our lives and forget about the people and the animals that we've loved. Well, no, we don't actually. We don't need to forget, and we never will forget. So feel those feelings, and be kind to yourself. Look at, perhaps spend a little time looking at some of the videos that I share about self-care, about what's happening when you're feeling the feelings that you're feeling. That those feelings, the anxiety, the slight panic attacks, that's your nervous system sending you a message saying, slow down, just maybe take some time to remember to be with the feelings that you feel for your dog, and it's okay to do that. And it will pass. These things never go on forever. They change and transform. So, oh, Rhonda, well, I'm glad you've enjoyed it. You're off now, but thank you for being here. It's very nice. Thank you all for being here. I think probably we're kind of at the stage, we've been going for an hour, that we're going to finish now. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you very much to Lynn 250 and to Jasmine for all of your help, for moderating, for looking after everything in the background and replying to comments and looking after everyone. I so appreciate all of your kindness. You're just amazing people, and the same goes for all of you. You know, this community that we've created. I just love coming on here and seeing the familiar names. You know, I can see people here. I can see, you know, Elizabeth and Julesy. It's just so nice to see you. Really, really lovely, Trish. I don't want to. It's difficult calling out names because I don't want to miss anyone. But we will do another live just like this next Friday. So let me know when would suit you best, because I've done them at various times. I've done them at 9 and 10 in the morning. I've done them at 5 in the afternoon, and today's the first day that I've done them. I've done it at 3 o'clock. So let me know in the comments what sort of timings would suit you best. I mean, Jasmine and Lynn 250, particularly you, because I know that you have busy lives. But everyone, because I just want to do it. I just want to do it at a time that suits most people, really, so you can access it. But if you've not managed to see as much of the live as you would have hoped to, then you can always check it out on my YouTube channel. So let's have a look. Oh, excellent. So Charlotte Rose Gates, I like catching your lives when I can because they're helping with my mental health. Do you know what? I'm so happy to hear that. That's absolutely brilliant. San, I didn't see you were here. Thank you. And San always says thank you to Team Sarah. So I appreciate that. That's really brilliant. So Lynn, anytime suits you. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Any more? Joanne, in the morning for you. Lynn's anytime. 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock is getting a little bit too late for me. I'm getting old now, like an early night. Joanne says 10. Louisa says afternoons are best. Julie Reese Diva, this is a great time for the US. Well, do you know what? Julie has been getting up at like the middle of the night to come to my lives when I've done them at 10 o'clock in the morning. Like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, Julie's been there. So I think I owe you a few in the afternoon, Julie. Just as a thank you for your dedication. Heather's saying 10 o'clock. Elizabeth says 6, which is probably 5 o'clock here, because I think you're in Scandinavia, aren't you, Elizabeth? If I'm right, you're in Sweden. Let's have a look. So I will see. I'll just mix them around. Drop me a note. Oh, now it's 8 minutes past 3 in my country, so I don't really know what time to say. Okay, so we started here at 3 p.m. That's UK time, Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. So yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? So I suppose you're probably about an hour ahead of me. So if this time is good for you, I can't see your name. You just got sparkly stars, which is very lovely. Clarina. Sorry, my eyes are bad. This time is good for you. That's good. Okay, well, I'll see. I'll have a little mix around. So perhaps I'll do like one at 3, one at 10, and go from there. And then the odd one in early evening as well. So, okay. Well, I'm sorry if I've not been able to answer all of your questions. If you've got a question, I saw a couple about emetophobia. There's quite a bit on emetophobia on my main grid, so do go and have a look at the categories at the bottom, because there'll be stuff on there about emetophobia. There's also lots of stuff around health anxiety, social anxiety, anxiety generally, coping techniques. There's the link to my YouTube channel, so you can catch the whole of this in your own time with a cup of tea if you fancy. But yeah, I hope I will see you next Friday. I will. It's always, if you're wondering about my lives, I always post it actually on my profile page. So if you're ever in doubt, go on my profile page and you can register. And usually during the week, a couple of days before, I do a little video where you can set a reminder. So if you're following me, then hopefully it should be pretty easy. And if you're not following me, why are you not following me? Oh, you don't have to, it's fine. Anyway, right, I'm rambling on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say goodbye, and I will I'll hang around just a few more minutes just to say hello and goodbye to people by name, and then I'll head off, because I need to go and buy some food, because we've got no bread in the house. You know what it's like. So thank you so much for being here, everyone. Thank you, Jasmine and Lynn250. It's just lovely. Take care, everyone. Right, let me say goodbye. Cheerio, Trish. Lovely to see you here. It's really nice. Sharina, thank you for being here. Julesy, cheerio. Lovely to see you. Hannah, thank you very much. Hannah Wright, thank you for following me. Let's have a look. Oh, thank you. That was very kind. I didn't see who that was from, but you gave me a little heart. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Heather, have a lovely evening. Take care. I'll see if I can do one at 10 a.m. so that it's easier for you in the coming weeks. So appreciate you being here. Let's see. Yeah, Emily Thomas, you're right. Emetophobia, it does get better. Absolutely does. So let's see. And oh gosh, I can't see your name. Oh, I can't read your name. It's an Irish name. Kiva, right? Will you have another live event? Yes, I will. Next Friday. I haven't decided the time yet, but it will be on my profile page, so you'll be able to see. So hopefully that will be good for you. It was from you, San. Thank you. Kiva. Brilliant. I got it right. So it's a bit like Neve, and I love those Irish names. They're just they're beautiful. Okay. So yeah, so have a look on my profile and keep an eye out, and I will do one next Friday at some point. Looking forward to seeing you, Elizabeth. I hope your husband's all right, and I hope that he does well with his operation. Hannah, thank you for your kind words. It's lovely, really kind of you. And Julie, it's just been a pleasure having you here. Thank you very much. Thank you for all of your questions. It's lovely to see you all. And yeah, I'm going to say cheerio now. Take care, and I'll see you next time.